Okay. Can you hear me now? Hello, hello, hello. Getting real loud no longer rings. Hear you. You hear me. You hear me. Yes or no? Yes? Ah! Thank God. Like I said, we had the sound. Okay, it looks like the speakers for with Rode. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why. We had the intro. We had the transitions, and apparently the speakers are Rode. The problem is going to be. I hear your phone ring or sound from computer. You're talking. I don't hear anything. No. Okay. The problem is going to be is that the speakers are Rode. You can hear my speakers, but I bet you when you call in, I won't be able to hear you. I don't know why you swallowed a fly. Hey, Dusty, that's good. Welcome back. Needed my captain again. Sorry for your. Thanks everybody. I'm glad you guys can hear me. The issue is going to be when when I put the phone up, if I'm going to be able to hear the phone. Okay, so that's the issue, and that's what I'm worried about. So I'm glad you guys can hear me. The issue will be for the sound is if you guys will be able to, and then restart YouTube, then you're coming in loud and clear. Okay, the issue will be now that we have a phone number up. Yeah, and Jimmy Farrell, I hear you, but you know what? It's football season. We had all of the previous time to talk about non-football season. I mean, it was so slow with other things going on that we were just jonesing for football, and your Yankees are sweeping the Sox. Sorry, when we hear from Tommy Beard, but the Sox got swept by the Rays. It looks like they're gonna. Well, it's still the bottom of. There's still some time. But you know what? I don't want to talk baseball. I really don't want to talk to baseball. Hey, Mike, I'm glad that you're listening. Thank you there, sir. And I appreciate everybody doing that. It looks like I got a phone call. We'll see if. Okay. Ed Winchell, can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. You're on. But I can't hear you. 1 second. 1 second, Ed. 1 second. I'm going to see if we can do it the other way. Okay. 1 second.
I hear you.
I'm going to see if we can do it the other way. Okay. Okay. 1 second.
I hear you.
I'm going to see if we can do it the other way. Okay. Okay. 1 second.
I hear you.
This
I'm
is
see
this is
we
a
can do it
this is the problem.
Okay. 1 second. I hear you.
This
see
this is
we
a
can do it
this is the problem.
Okay. 1 second. I hear you.
See
this is we can do it.
Okay. This is the okay. Ed, I got a problem. I got here's the thing. With Google Voice, Ed, I think you can probably hear me. But if I put it on speakers, then all I get is echo and reverb, which sucks because everything was going good until this time, and I can't turn on OBS. I'm gonna try to. If I put in the mic, put in the earpieces, then I'll be able to hear you maybe, but then it's good we can hear you both. You can hear you both. How can you hear? You can hear Raider Neil? You can hear him? I'm doing the live feed for OBS. Okay. I know you guys can hear me. God, this is pissing me off. My first show back in about a month. And then I have sound issues. This pisses me off. So try your headphones. Yeah, but if I do the headphones, then I can't. Well, but can you guys hear Ed? If you can hear Ed, we're good. Let me try this. What's going to have been some time? Yeah, hey Chris, how you doing? Let me hear that. Okay. I'm here. Vicky, good to see you as well. Ed, are you still here? Hang on. 1 second. Let's hear the settings here. 1 second. Oh my goodness. Phone call, conversation, contacts, settings. It would be good. I can't hear you, Ed. I can't hear you. General notification, and this is great. Ed, I can't hear you. Hang on a second. Ed, can you hear me?
Ed, I can't hear you. Yeah. Hang on a second. I hear you. Ed, can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, Ed, the thing is I just turned on the speakers, which means I can hear you now, but then I'm going to have echo that's coming out.
Ed, the thing is I just turned on the speakers, which means I can hear you now, but then I'm going to have echo that's coming out.
This sucks. Playback. You can hear Ed. Okay. And Raider Bear just went live on Facebook. Oh, well. I didn't realize I was going to go into Raider Bear's time. And I can hear you. I can hear feedback. I can hear everything. I guess everybody can hear me. Can you guys?
I can hear you. I can hear feedback. I can hear everything. I guess everybody can hear me. Can you guys?
Okay. Here's the thing. Here's the deal. Ed, I hate doing this, but I'm gonna have to hang up on Ed.
Here's the
Ed, you hear that?
Ed, I hate doing this. Yeah. But
Okay.
I'm gonna
I'm gonna do a show. You guys are gonna have to do comments, and then I'll just have to do from comments. Okay.
okay. Okay.
All right. All right. Bye bye.
You guys are gonna have to do comments, and then I'll just have to do from comments. Okay.
Okay. Here's the deal. I apologize. God, this is upsetting me.
Okay.
I don't know what is going on. I thought everything was squared away. This is one of those things that when you haven't done it in a while and everything is you think is good to go. And you guys can still hear me, which I believe is good. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I appreciate everybody hanging in. What we're going to do is we're going to do the comments where you guys can at least you can hear me, and we're going to go from there. No calls. let me get the knock this stuff out. No, I'm not going to knock myself out. Let's do the transition here. Apologies. No calls tonight. And we'll work on why there is no you guys can't hear me and I can't hear you, and all you hear is the beeps. I did have some things to talk about. And Tommy Beard is coming in, and and I will give him his due. He said this before, and I'll give it to him. He did say that Chris Warren wasn't going to be on the team, and he said that a long time ago, and he was correct there. And I wanted to also say to Tommy, thank you for a lot of people followed up with me to see how I was doing. And it looks like this show is going to be a bunch of, we're what, 15 minutes into, 17 minutes into the show, and it's ass as far as the sound and me coming to you. It's just going to be about an hour, I guess, because I did try. It's going to be about an hour of me talking to you, and I'll read comments, and that's okay. Although I do like the interaction portion, and that's just not going to be. Thank you for all that are here, and again, thank you for everybody that showed up. I appreciate doing this. I did get a chance to, and since again we are 15 minutes into it, for those that don't know, I was off for the month because my mother passed on the 7th of July. I was on my way to D.C. for a week of training, and for about 2.5 weeks I dealt with a lot of administrative stuff, getting her ready for the funeral, flying my mom's body up to Pennsylvania, and then doing the funeral, coming back down, dealing with my brother. There's a lot of issues there which I won't go into, but it's ongoing. I went back to work sometime last week. It was like I was gone for like 2.5 weeks, and I wanted to do this, but I wasn't able to get into the right mind frame. And if I can't figure out how I can take calls, I can do it on Facebook. And I'm just upset that I can't do it via OBS. So we're still having that sound issue, and we'll get through with that. Tommy Beard again, bravo for reminding everybody that the Hard Knocks with the Raiders is going to make all of our jobs, or the folks that come out and talk to you about it, pretty easy. Because you're going to see what we see, and it's like, I hope you guys will continue to comment in and call up. But until I can figure out why there's no sound that I can't hear you, it's going to be upsetting to me. But it's good to hear from everybody. There's a lot going on, and again, if you, I'm ready to talk about Raider football, and I'm ready to go out to, here it is. I did this earlier. the Raider Nation explosion, which is this weekend, over in Merced. I will be flying out on Friday. I'll be flying back on Sunday, so I don't have to miss any work, which is good. Yeah, I agree. Facebook sucks, but unless I can get the sound issues figured out here, which I like to do with the phone calls, it's just I got to fix that up. Go back to what you were doing before it was working. Okay, it has to be a way to take calls and sound without also broadcasting to Facebook. I don't know, Neil. Like I said, you guys might have heard Ed, but all I heard was feedback and reverb. So it's like I would hear myself twice, again and again and again, and I can't do that, Neil, because again, it's disturbing for me to listen to myself the first time, and then to hear me again and again. I can't do that. That's one of the reasons why when there's not, like when you're on with the earphones, I can't stand listening to myself because, yeah, that's a joke. But it's like for you to, when you hear yourself in live, and I have to get this fixed, even when I'm listening to myself, it sounds like I'm talking slowly. And and Mike Arline, thanks for coming in as well. Facebook was it was working correctly, so I might have to do the Facebook and YouTube, but I like YouTube. I mean, I like the format here. I like the fact that it's not just me. It's got some pictures. It has other things, but we'll get it done. Heard that maybe it's how your phone is hooked up into the mic. It's getting a feedback loop. Well, I don't know. Neil, it's the Google Voice, so it's that. Matt, thanks for bringing us back to Raider Talk, and again, blessings to the Branch family. We lost Cliff Branch yesterday. He was at a signing, and he was in his hotel room and was unresponsive. And he passed. Now I have it from good authority that he will be put back, or he will go back to Houston. I heard he will be cremated. I'm not sure if that's true, but that's what I've heard. I heard he will go back to Houston, that there will be a cremation. I'm not sure anything about any of the things that go with it. Again, when information comes out, it will be made available. If there's no information made available, it's obviously because the family doesn't want a big to-do, and that's their right. That's their right, because it is Cliff's family, and they have the right to figure out how they wish to handle it. Going back again to Raider football, on another positive note, was a Grim Raider, Thomas. What's Thomas's last name? Can't remember what Grim Raider's last name is. He got married yesterday, so there was a wedding in the midst of Raider Nation. So congratulations to Grim. The old joke is that when you don't want to be happy anymore is when you get married. I love that joke. It's like when you're tired of being happy, that's when you get married. So again, happy for Grim Raider. And Dusty came out with Chris Warren and Dante Foreman. Yeah, here's the thing. You got to be able to perform in the offense. Warren was overweight, slow, and apparently he didn't know his playbook. And he was cut. So if you're not going to put forth, you're going to be cut. Chris Warren has all of the potential to be a good running back. I said a good running. I don't think a great running. But he has the potential to be a good running back. But if you're not going to keep your weight down, if you're not going to adhere to the standards of what your coach wants you to do, then you're not going to be around. Remember, NFL stands for not for long if you don't put out. Dante Foreman with the With the Texans, same thing. Too much weight, not enough getting into the playbook, and he was cut. That's the way it is. Excuse me. The other issues are, and since we're here, I'm just going to move this here. There we go. Because we're all on Facebook. And we're all on YouTube already, so we'll do that. Yeah, that's true. He had issues with blocking. Thanks for putting that in. If you're a one-trick pony in the NFL, especially in a John Gruden offense, you don't last. You got to be able to be versatile. As a running back, you got to be able to block. You got to be able to pick up blitzes. You got to be able to run the ball. You got to be able to catch the ball. Jared, thanks for being here. Jared, we're having audio issues. I ain't taking calls tonight because when I was taking calls, there was reverb and sound issues and apologies. So apologies. You're just gonna have to type out your stuff, and I'll comment from the comments. And thank you for coming back in. Here's the thing about running back. Like I said. Jacobs is a prototype, and that's why Gruden got him with one of those first-round picks. Thanks, Jared. I'm doing better, and when you see me here, it means that I'm taking it day by day and doing things as I should. I wanted to hear about your Steelers. I really did. That's not a joke, guys. Because Jared is a constant to the program, and I like having him here. He talks football, he talks Steelers, he talks stuff about the Raiders as well, so I appreciate that. And that's, when you're talking about your team, it's your team. And Jared's a Steelers fan. We like him, so that's good. Thank you there. See, even Jared understands that Cliff Branch should be in the Hall of Fame. When you look at Cliff Branch's numbers, and you compare them to when you compare them to Lynn Swann, when you compare them to John Stallworth, there's no reason why Cliff Branch shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. The only thing that those guys have on Cliff is they have one more Super Bowl ring. That's it. When you look at the stats, all they have that is better or more than Cliff Branch is they have one more Super Bowl ring. And you guys are talking about the AB shot. I'll talk about that. Ben Chill thinks they're calm and Steelers are good. Well, you be sure to continue to comment in, Jared, and I'll talk about that. Let's also talk about the former Steeler, Antonio Brown, who is not practicing, who's shown pictures of a green, nasty foot. And I read like a doctor's report on it. And it's things that needs, it's, I can't remember what the exact condition is. I can look. Hang on a second. I did have it. Let's see here. I actually see if I can get it over here while we're waiting. I just read it. It was that they were looking at it. It needs to be addressed. Antonio Brown doesn't like the preseason anyway. So as long as he performs on the field, that's all I really care about. Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see, Jared, about Antonio. I think he's like Allen Iverson, man. He doesn't really like the preseason, and he doesn't really like practice. He just likes to perform. So if it comes down to it, if he's doing well in the game, great. If not, then it'll be a pain in the ass. I think it'll be okay. He wasn't, according to the reports, he wasn't going to be playing in the preseason anyway. The issue is that he's not getting a lot of practice time, and that's going to hurt him with the reps between him and Derek Carr. Now, that's good for everybody else. It's good for Terrell Williams. It's good for Hunter Renfrow. It's good for these other kids. In fact, which leads me to the other things that I was wanting to talk about. The Raiders did sign Jordan Lasley. I believe that's how to pronounce his name. Kid played for UCLA in college, had a lot of potential, speed, and good speed, decent hands. I say decent because he did drop some that he's kind of like the Raiders receivers from last year. Lots of speed, drops too many balls. Although the Raiders last year didn't have a lot of speed, they just dropped a lot of balls. But at least this guy can fly, and then when he does catch the ball, it's good. He's a head case, though, and we don't need any more head cases. While AB is not out there, Keelan Doss is playing really well. Rico Gafford, who is probably the fastest player on the field, a lot of positive things coming in on him. So that'll be good for him. The other things I wanted to talk about is that it's going to be, the chemistry was there, but that's just throwing the ball around. It needs to be there when it's 7-on-7 and 11-on-11. I mean, that's good when you can do the one-on-ones where it's Carr throwing to you, but it needs to be consistent, concise, and perfect during 7-on-7 drills, when it's 11-on-11 drills. It's because you got to have everybody playing in space where they should be. I agree that they have that chemistry, but it needs to be there when it's quote-unquote the real thing. And even the real thing is in practice against everybody else. Everybody knows their deal. So the chemistry's there. It's just going to affect, his performance. Saying after the draft, you on the show and on the phone right now, it's early, but call me crazy. Josh Jacobs, Rookie of the Year. Wow. Josh Jacobs, Rookie of the Year, barring injury. Possibly Offensive Rookie of the Year. I mean, he's going to be... I would say that he has a good possibility, but the thing is that Gruden actually likes Doug Martin a lot in the fact that as long as Doug Martin doesn't fumble the ball, Doug's going to get a lot of carries. So I'm not sure if Jacobs is going to have enough carries in order to perform at that level where he would be recognized as a Offensive Rookie of the Year. It's possible. It's possible, Jared. We'll see. I mean, if he continues to come into his own, yeah, I can see that. 7-7 on Bakersfield. Okay, great, Dusty. I mean, great. And I'm not saying that to poo-poo you. I'm not saying like shoo. It still needs to be consistent. It still needs to be there during the games, and we'll see that. Emmitt Smith, fast, quick, explosive. Martin could become in goal line plays. Yeah, they're going to need somebody. But I think that Doug Martin, at the beginning of the season, Doug Martin is actually going to get a good portion of the workload. And I think it might be because normally the rookies hit that rookie wall. Pardon me and excuse me. Rookies hit that rookie wall, and then they normally tail off at the end of the season. Maybe, and this is just me thinking, maybe Gruden wants to limit the carries at the beginning of the season in order for Jacobs to come on at the end when he's going to be needed, and Martin might need that time off because he is a bit older. So he might be, where they do that transition, and we'll see if that happens. Talking about D-Wash, and has been radio silent on Martin, so we might be shocked if Martin is man out. Wow, well, possibly. But remember, John Gruden said things like Khalil Mack's not going to be traded, and Amari Cooper's not going to be traded, and he likes this guy, he likes that guy. We'll see. I'm not saying that it's wrong, but like I said, if John Gruden said the sky was blue and the sun's going to come out tomorrow, like Annie says, I wouldn't bet on it, because John Gruden. Great. And by the way, I like Gruden, so this is not me saying bad things about John Gruden. John Gruden has a way of just feeding a bunch of air via commentary to the reporters just to get it out there, and it doesn't really happen. So we'll see. We'll see. If DeAndre Washington has been playing that much better than Doug Martin, great. Again, we'll see who actually hangs out. I like our running back core, and that's even with Chris Warren not being here. I mean, the fact that Chris Warren isn't here means that maybe DeAndre Washington might get that roster spot that people were saying wasn't there because Warren was going to be here. And again, Tommy Beard said that he was going to be here, and he was correct, so I'll give him that. So we'll see. What I heard, speaking of running backs, were your take on Zeke in Dallas and Gordon for the Chargers. Do they get a new contract worth a lot of moolah, or they play out their deals? I think, good question, Jared. Thank you for that. I am tired. Boy, I tell you, I should have had my drops in my eyes already. I think Zeke is, Jerry Jones will definitely kiss his ass, for lack of better words. He loves him his Zeke. He loves him his Zeke. Whereas the Chargers play hardball, and it's quite possible that the Chargers might deal Gordon because they don't think that he's worth the money, or they don't think he's worth the BS. So I think that Gordon might be dealt. I think that the Chargers are going to play hardball with Gordon a bit more than the Cowboys are eventually. I mean, Zeke's going to come into camp, and Zeke will be there by game one, in my estimation. I think that the Cowboys learned a lesson when remember years ago when Emmitt Smith held out and the Cowboys lost their first two games, and boy, he was signed quicker than hell because they knew that they needed him. I don't think that it's going to go that far this time. I think that Zeke will be there for game one. And even when you have arguably one of the best running backs in the NFL in Emmitt Smith, and I say arguably, I mean, he has the most yards, but that's it. But we'll see. Gruden keeps the truth way under his vest. You got it. Ed Winchell gets it. Like I said, if Gruden came out, I mean, Gruden has said, I like me some Nate Peterman. And but he doesn't talk a lot about Glennon. But Glennon was, I believe, was there when Gruden was there in Tampa Bay. I might be off on that. I know Glennon wasn't. I'm not sure if they overlapped in the courses, but I know that Gruden knows about Glenn. It's one of the reasons why he was signed. We'll see. Again, DeAndre Washington. I'd like to see him stick around. But really, if you look at it, and forgive me if I'm not totally up on this. I'd have to see what the stats are, but I know for a fact that DeAndre Washington and Richard are about the same running back as far as height, weight, speed. So that you got two that are same height, weight, speed. Jacobs is a little bit like bullish, like you were saying, an Emmitt Smith type of player. Then you have Martin, the muscle hamster, even though he doesn't like that term. I think we need a bruiser, and I think that might be Ingold because Keith Smith has been missing time in camp. So if Keith Smith misses time in camp, Alec Ingold might slide in and be that starter from day one. So we'll see. Not worried. I believe he understands the routes. It won't take him long to catch up. That's true. Speaking of running backs, Snell, the rookie, is doing good so far. Yeah, Benny Snell. Wow. Saw him at Kentucky for years. That's a great pickup by the Stillers. And I said that correctly. But yeah, Snell from UK is going to be a very good running back for your Steelers there, Jared. Mark me on that. That was a great pickup. Juju doing good. And Eddie, I'm doing good. Miss talking to you. Oh, Ed Winchell, yeah. And it's great. It's great having Jared and everybody here. It's like family talking. Although, gosh darn it, I can't get the phones to work. So, that's upsetting. My thoughts on the defense. Glad you asked that, Jimmy. I wanted to say some things. Abram has been getting a lot of good press in camp for his play. In fact, he's almost too hard and plays a bit too tough, where they actually kind of reel him in. And that's going to be good for us in that we saw that and we heard about that based upon his play in college. So Abram is going to step right in. If he's not a starter on day one, I expect him to be a starter right in that transitionary period where, after game 5 where we go to London, they got the week off. By week 7, I think Abram is going to be firmly entrenched as a starting safety, if not prior. But I would say at least by game 7, in my estimation, this is Captain Jack speak, in my estimation, I think Abram's going to be a starter by at least week 7, if not sooner. One of the things that I really was good to hear about is a lot of the positives that they're throwing out about Mad Max Crosby. Kid's got a motor, and I think he's going to do just fine. You don't hear a lot about our Cleveland Farrell, but we'll see. I mean, remember, they didn't talk about Khalil Mack, I know, 50 who, but they didn't talk a lot about him his rookie year, and he only came on at the very end of his rookie year, excuse me, to be the player that we all thought he was going to be with that drafting. And again, when you look at what Khalil Mack was, number, I know he was top 5 on the top 100. By the way, that's bullshit, but that's between me, you, and whoever. But it took a while. So I think Cleveland Farrell is going to be just fine. Mad Max is going to be a really good addition. And I think that the best portion is the fact that Brandon Marshall, along with Burfict, are playing well over what we thought they would be playing. Again, this is the preseason, and knock wood, they don't get hurt. Yeah, Farrell will be just fine, Tommy. I wasn't poo-pooing Farrell. I just said it might take him a little bit to get into that where everybody is building him up to be. Whereas Crosby is going to come in and just be, a big surprise because he doesn't have all the hype. So he's working, Cleveland Farrell is working, I don't want to say with a stacked deck against him, but there's so much hype for him that he's going to need to work through it, whereas Crosby's playing with, with house money. The other kid, the 7th round pick, obviously he needs to work, and I think that he's probably going to be put on the IR anyway. And I mean that might work because you don't want to let him become available for somebody to snap up. So I think he's going to have a very bad hangnail and be put on the IR for a year because the Raiders don't want to let him go. Now, while we're speaking about injuries that affect people, Eddie Vanderdoes's concussion, I mean, he wanted to make this squad. He's a hard charger. No offense in that hard charger. No pun either. He has a good motor to him, but he is already in concussion protocol. So I don't think Eddie makes the team. I mean, he's so far behind already, and he's coming off of injury already. I don't think he makes the team. Hunter Renfrow is doing just fine, Jimmy. I've seen some good press on him. He'll be just fine. He'll be just fine. What I want to see is who sticks between Ryan Grant and J.J. Nelson. And that's going to come down to who is more available on special teams. So that's a roster spot between Ryan Grant and J.J. Nelson to see who wins that. And hopefully, Ryan Grant has been cut already. So I'm talking out of my ass. Good things I've already seen and about J.J. Nelson. Haven't seen anything about Ryan Grant. I don't know whether he's been cut. So like I said, that's going to be a battle. That's going to be a battle. Eddie Vanderdoes needs to go, and Ryan Grant. Who is our punter? Well, that's another good question, Jimmy. Apparently, I am showing my Gator. I know you meant our. I'm showing my Gator bias, and I know that's going to piss off Tommy. But we'll see. The kid that they picked up, the other kid that's been punting has been punting well. And Townsend was an excellent punter in college, and we'll see if he shakes the heebie-jeebies he had from last year. We'll see if he works out. If not, he'll be cut. We'll see. Who is our punter? Your guess is as good as mine. It is anybody's for the taking. So we'll see on that. I mean, I'm not playing favorites. I know that Townsend went to Florida. I don't care. That was on Saturdays, and that was when he was a college person. My affinity and my favorites will be who is playing best for the Raiders in the silver and black, and we'll see it. We have the same kicker. I don't understand that. I said Townsend and the other kid that used to play for the Chargers is who was in camp. That's the names that I don't know. But we'll see on that. Again, some other things I wanted to talk about. We spoke about AB's foot. He'll be good to go. We spoke about Max Crosby and Abram. Paul Butler, another name I want to throw out there. The Raiders only have so many tight ends. I mean, Waller's the one that's definitely looking like it's the definite keeper there and going to be our starter. Butler was maybe going to slide into one of those spots, but apparently he's out with an injury as well. Swoops was already cut loose, so we're down to, I think, 4 tight ends with Butler not practicing, and that's a shame because I think Butler would have had a good shot at making the squad this year. What would you like to know is happening in the Steel City? I will answer you, plus I'm going to the live WD show tomorrow. Oh, right, WWE. Not a big fan. I'll admit it, not a big fan, but, I heard that when you go to an event live, it's a lot better. So you can give me a report from WWE. You can do that the next time we talk. Hopefully I'll have the sound issues fixed so I can get some phone calls. Don't understand why. I will have to go into settings and figure that out. But that's it. Last piece of the steel installed in the stadium. Oh, no. Okay, no, I did not see that. The glass roof is next. Wow. Okay. Thanks for that spot-on report. I mean, we're looking at right now a year from today, right? A year from now is when this stadium's supposed to be ready. We're basically at T-minus 365 or so. So we'll see. And, obviously they're going to have the draft there next year. And hopefully I'll actually be able to wear my things and go inside. I was kind of pissed that didn't happen in Nashville, but we'll see. I will be in Tampa, but as far as talk here, besides the Steelers talk here, the depressing joke here is our baseball team. The bad news bears. Hey, I heard that, but didn't the Pirates win the other day? or are they just down? Hey, thanks by the way for and I don't want to talk baseball, but thanks for letting us the Phillies have Corey Dickerson. I'm glad to see that. No, they lost 13-2. Okay, oops, sorry. The Bad News Bears of 2019 from 76. Whoa. I don't want to talk baseball. I'm psyched to talk football. Oh, okay. Well, Corey Dickerson is a good player. See, I'm talking baseball again. I would like to say if our sound was working, and God, I don't know why. This is all one way, and I hate that. But thank you for at least commenting. I appreciate that. I want to get more people on here, and it's good to at least have the comments here. I'm sorry. I'm glad I'm not running into Raider Bear. But make sure that people know about it. You see any of the Hall of Fame? No, didn't really care to. My TV watching has gone down considerably. Maybe some on the weekends. I didn't see any. Didn't see anything else. It's almost hurricane season. Yeah, okay. Tommy, I will allow you to talk about the big game upcoming during that week. Okay? We'll talk UF upcoming. Is Champ Bailey really a Hall of Famer? They voted him in. I mean, in my mind, no. But he got the votes. He got the votes. So I don't know why or how, but yeah, he's a Hall of Famer if he gets there. I say no. You say no. But I mean, here's the thing: Cliff Branch should be a Hall of Famer. He's not there. Champ Bailey's in the Hall of Fame, and he should be there. So it works both ways. Ed Reed is definitely a Hall of Famer. I know Tommy Beard will be happy about me saying that. There, yeah, see, right on cue. And I said that before you even wrote that, Tommy. I said that before you even wrote that. So I knew where the thought was going. Yeah, I know. And Cliff Branch and Tom Flores should be in the Hall of Fame. Now, I did see an article, and I'm not sure about the validity of it, but I was told that for 2020 to end the 100 years of the NFL, that there you go, Matt's right on there. 20 entries next year. Again, I saw that. I'm not sure of the validity of it, but if there's 20 entries next year, there's no reason why Tom Flores shouldn't be in. There's no reason why Cliff Branch shouldn't be in. And hopefully Tom Flores gets in before it's a posthumous. I don't want Tom Flores to be inducted into the Hall of Fame and he's not there to see it. I don't want that. I don't want that to happen. Canes went back to back in the Hall of Fame. Who? Ed Reed and who? Ed Reed and who? I like I said, wasn't keeping up this year. There was no Raiders there. Tatum? Lester Hayes, yes. Lester Hayes, yes. Jack Tatum, not quite. And I like Jack Tatum. But if it's between Tatum and Hayes, I'll put Hayes in. I'll put Lester Hayes in the Hall of Fame, no sweat. Jack Tatum was. Oh, okay. That's what I thought. Okay, I thought you meant this year, back to back this year. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Jimmy. Lester Hayes over Jack Tatum? Yeah. That's me. Nothing against Jack Tatum. I mean, I still have that one action figure that they have of Jack Tatum, which is signed, which is really cool. But if you look at their careers, Lester Hayes had like the one of the greatest seasons with interceptions ever. What did bottom seven? But did Jack Tatum ever have a year like that? I mean, yeah, if you count how many people he knocked out. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that plays into it, the fact that he made the hit on Stingley. But honestly, I don't think that's the reason that he's not in. I honestly don't think that's the only reason he's not in the Hall of Fame. Sean Taylor should be in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, I agree there. I agree. Jim Plunkett, yes. Jim Plunkett is the only quarterback who has won multiple Super Bowls and is not in the Hall of Fame. That is still not, I mean, Eli, yeah. But really, when you look at Eli's career, has he had a really great career? No. He's won 2 Super Bowls, though. Plunkett, did he have a really great career? Depends on who you talk to. And again, Jim Plunkett for sure. Jim Plunkett, Tom Flores, the only coach and quarterback with multiple Super Bowl wins that's not doing things presently that is not in the Hall of Fame. Yes, Tommy is on Facebook. Make sure you get with Jared. Jared, I think you're my friend there. I'm pretty sure. I hope so. I messaged you. I replied back. Hayes over the assassin any day. There you go. Seabass, no. Nope. No. Sebastian there are plenty of other kickers that are better than Sebastian Janikowski. Does Plunkett have the stats from his early career? No, he does not. Because when he played for one of the worst Patriots teams, and that's one of the reasons he got rocked in New England, and he was a shell of his former self. He went from New England to San Francisco, where he was a backup in San Francisco. And actually, he was actually on the verge of retirement before the Raiders gave him a chance to be their backup quarterback. And the reason why he played when he did play was because Dan Pastorini, who the Raiders traded Stabler and Tatum for, if you guys remember, Tatum and Stabler went to the Oilers on the Dan Pastorini trade. Dan Pastorini breaks his leg, Jim Plunkett comes in, and the rest is history. We'll have 10 from the senior era, 3 contributors and 2 coaches. There you go. Plunkett's played quite a few years on a bad Patriots team. That's right. When can Woodson get in? Woodson is eligible next year in 2020, if I remember correctly. Charles Woodson will get in next year. I believe is his first year eligibility. I believe that will happen. If I'm wrong, let me know. But I believe that Charles Woodson is eligible next year. It's 11 o'clock, and Woodson's available in 2021? Okay. I thought it was 2020. I could be mistaken. Going in as a Raider or a Packer? You ask him. You ask him. I think he should go in as a Raider, but he won the Super Bowl with the Packers. I think he should go in as a Raider. Yes, I'm biased. He spent the majority of his career being the awesome corner that he is as a Raider. He ended his career as a Raider. He is a true Raider. He should go in as a Raider, but we'll see. We'll see. Because I don't have any phone calls tonight, I'm going to cut it short. I apologize for not being able to do what I wanted to do, and that's do the phone calls. Homer, we'll need to work on, if Homer's still here, we'll need to work on, okay, Mike, if you say 2021, then there it is, it's 2021. When am I on again? I'm going to try for Thursday. I'll try Thursday night. Hopefully I'll get the sound issues fixed up. And thanks there, Neil. I'll get things squared away, hopefully. I'm going to close it out a little bit after 11. We have our kicker in the Hall of Fame, Ray Guy, in 2014. There you go. Thanks to well, and stay. I will, Jared. Please, IM me anytime. It was great to be here. I wish that I had the sound issues worked out. Do not understand what happened there. Everything was good to go until it wasn't good to go. So again, thanks again for being here. Thank you for joining me. Get the word out that I'm here up on, Homer, I will as I can. And we'll get the sound fixed up. And I went to settings. It was a real easy sound issue. Don't understand why it was screwed up. But y'all take care. Thanks for joining me. Great coming back here. Get the word out, man. I mean, I said I want folks to view. So we'll get that to go on. But it's a pleasure. Thank you for letting me be here. It was wonderful. So we'll get this going a little bit more often. Take care of yourselves. Thanks again, and I look for me Thursday. If everything goes as planned, look for me Thursday. We'll do a show Thursday, and that'll be great. I can't wait to see you. Take care, guys and gals. This is your captain signing off.